Hey guys. Well, I've been down working on the Cub. I'm on call again, so usually whenever I'm on call I decide to spend some time in the shop. But the main reason for this video is on my last video, I did ask the question if anybody wanted to see anything more up close and kind of how I do it, to let me know. And I started this process, which I'm sure you can figure out what it is by now, and I remembered, holy crap, somebody wanted me to show them how to do this. So, what I'm doing here is making the front windscreen. Thankfully, on the SIG kits, on the plans, it comes with a pattern. Of course, I showed this on my last video or a couple videos ago. I didn't want to use the pattern on the plans. I don't like cutting my plans up. So I traced it onto a thicker piece of material anyway, because the plans are too flimsy. And using this to kind of mock up on the front there, you know, it kind of goes on like that and wraps around. It's kind of intricate how it fits on there, so it has to work just right. And since the template fit pretty darn well, I was fairly confident that I can trace it onto my plexiglass, or Lexan, whatever it is. Now, some of you are probably thinking, that doesn't even look like a windscreen. Well, this is one of the little how-tos. See, this side's all shiny. Anytime I'm cutting canopies or windshield material like this, I don't like to do anything without putting something protective on the material. So you can clearly see where the clear plastic is, and I just put some 3M painter's tape on there. So for two reasons: one, I don't scratch up the surface, and two, when I lay my pattern over top to trace it onto the clear plastic, I don't want to draw on the clear plastic. I don't want to put a marker on there or pencil. No. So once I cover the whole sheet with the tape, I just trace it onto the tape. So you can kind of, a couple spots, see my little, Sharpie marks on there. But I just cut this out, so nothing magical about it. This material is pretty darn flimsy. I kind of like it. Normally for these front windscreens, if you don't have a really thin piece, flexible piece of material, it can be a real pain in the ass to form it around the front of these things. So this actually turned out to be pretty nice. I mean, look at this stuff. And this is right out of the kit, so it's, it's pretty flexible stuff. So I figured before I got any further, I wanted to at least kind of catch you up to where I'm at right now. So I'm going to shut the camera down for a minute, get the plane set up here on the workbench, and start to figure out how I'm going to attach this. I don't want it to be permanent, so this could get interesting. So once I figure out what I'm going to do, I'll bring you back. Hold on. Alright. Now, some of you may not believe me, but from the time I turned the camera off until right now has only been about 3 or 4 minutes. And all I did, and I did not do any trimming, any finagling, no magic, nothing at all. I literally transferred the pattern onto my Lexan, cut it out, peeled off the tape, and just stuck a piece of tape roughly on the center of where the, brain fart. Kind of roughly in the center, just so when I set it on there, I can just kind of hold it in place. And literally just wrapped it around with both of my hands. Stuck a couple little clamps on there just to hold it in place on both sides. And it fits absolutely perfect. And the center where it wraps around, got a little bit of gaps here and there, but I'm actually going to fill those in with silicone once everything's on. Use a little piece of tape to hold the top on there. I mean, that's awesome. For a task that most people, including myself, really hate doing because that's no fun, It's perfect. So would you look at that? While I got the clamps in there, I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna do the side windows. The plans call for it for the windscreen to stop halfway through this stringer right here, and then the side windows butt up to it. But if you look at that, there's just not a whole lot of room there. You know, by the time I run a screw in there and this is already cut halfway, there's just not a lot of meat. So I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do about that. Not sure yet. I don't know if I want to put the side window on and then overlap this one over top of it, or if I want to put this on and then overlap the side window on top of this. I'd rather not do it that way because I want the seam to be back here. Because if I put the windscreen on first and then put the side window over it, now I have a crack on the, a joint on the front where air can get inside. And that's not the way to do it. So I'm going to stare at this for a little while longer. But I just wanted to show you that this is just right from the template they give you in the plans. So that's freaking awesome. So what I'm going to do is anywhere there's not a clamp, I'm going to start drilling and running little screws into that'll hold it into place. And kind of the same up here, just using little button head screws to hold everything in place. Then just using some nice clear silicone to fill in these gaps down the road, even though I don't have to. In fact, I may not even do it. It's not necessary. And once it's all screwed into place, once I peel this tape off there, that won't even be necessary. So, it's pretty awesome. Well, when I figure out what I'm going to do, and actually do something, I'll bring you back. Oh, since we're still here, earlier today, put on the Sullivan flying wire kit on the tail. You just can't go wrong with a Sullivan flying wire kit. I mean, it's good stuff. Can't complain there. And inside, done a little bit more work in there. I like to make use of everything that I possibly can. So especially on the inside, when it comes to where am I going to mount the batteries? Well, as you can see, it looks like they're right on top of the fuel tank, even though they're not. The fuel tank needed those, the fuel tank is Velcroed to a platform that I installed. And then on top of the fuel tank, I ran a couple supports across just to make sure it didn't, Velcro only holds so well. You need a little extra support. So on top of those two braces running across the tank, I put another piece of balsa sheeting with some Velcro on it, and that's where the batteries are going to go. So just making use of everything that's in there. I think it works perfect. Got my switches installed, everything is hooked up. I'm not sure at the moment, but it's a possibility I might be running the engine tomorrow. It's nothing special, just a DLE 30. It's a used engine, but it's new to me, so I have not personally run it. Everything seems good. I got spark, brand new tank, brand new everything. So, and just to make something clear, now most of my viewers, most of you guys get it. This plane is purely for nostalgia. This is an 80s kit, and I want it that way. Okay? And I think most of you understand and even are more excited about this project because of that, because it's old school. That's what makes it so frickin' awesome. This isn't a Hempel or something like that. Not saying there's anything wrong with those, but this is an old SIG kit. You just don't see too many people still building and flying these. So, it's old school. The construction's old school. The way I'm doing a lot of things is old school. I know most of you get it. but some don't, and you know, it's their loss. Because I think it's freaking awesome, and I like the fact that it's all old school. The only thing that's not is the more modern engine and the modern 2.4 radio system and lithium batteries, and of course the stronger servos. But you know, so I just wanted to throw that out there. Let me get some work done. All right, I figured out what I'm going to do. The way the SIG kit works, I think I already went through this, but it doesn't have a window per, you know, on the full scale, what would be an actual, there's a window here, and obviously the window door and a window here. The way the SIG kit is, it's just a solid piece of the plexiglass that kind of runs along the perimeter and overlaps that you're supposed to glue or screw on there. I'm going to do it that way, but what I'm going to do a little bit different is I'm going to screw the whole thing on there. So what I'm going to do, and you can kind of see what I've done here, I want to put the side pieces on first and bring them up to level with the front of this this support here, and then once that's on there, I'm gonna get it all screwed in place, everything except up here. Then I'm going to go ahead and put the windscreen and overlap it. And I was just thinking that's going to be a pain in the butt, because once that side piece is on there, I can't clamp it. Doggone it! Because if I drill and screw these now and then overlap it with a piece back there, it's going to fit a little bit different. I didn't think of that. Son of a. But anyways, I know what I'm going to do. So, preferably I want to use some button head screws to hold the windshield on, because the button head screws are nice and, you know, they're nice and clean, nice and round. I don't have any, but I have some number 2 servo screws that I'll use for now. And then I'll just order some number 2 button head screws, and I can just pull those screws off and replace them with the button heads. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Now you can kind of see here where I've already put marks on there where I want the, so when I lay the piece of plexiglass over the fuselage, I'll have a reference point where the windscreen ends. So it'll have a nice clean transition all the way across. You can see them on both sides there. So yeah, I think if I go ahead and screw these in place right now, and then remove the windscreen, put the side on, because this plastic isn't very thick, so even though it is going to be overlapping a little bit more, I think it'll be all right. It should still work out just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and get some more work done here, and I'll bring you back. Hopefully I have good news. Okay. Well, I have to say I'm pretty pleased. So, and the servo screws don't look bad. I may leave those in there, to be honest with you. They don't seem to hurt anything. As you can see, not having the windscreen actually glued down, it maintains a nice tight fit across the fuselage. Even up here, this is all screwed in. You know, shoot, ain't nothing wrong with that. That looks nice. I honestly think I'm going to keep it just like that. So now I'm going to go ahead and get my pieces out to do the sides and get everything put on, and we'll bring you back and see what it looks like. So the next shot will be hopefully the finished product. Stay tuned. Alright, well, holy crap, I just got a text. So it might be kind of hard to tell on the camera, but there's a window in there now. And this turned out perfect. It turned out really nice. It's not finished yet. I still need to put a couple more screws in here, just because that's flopping in the breeze right now. But this is all in there, nice and solid. And you can see where this piece right here goes up to the front here, and then the main windscreen overlaps it. I need to get a Q-tip with some lighter fluid to get rid of my Sharpie marks there, but yeah, that's exactly what I was hoping for. That looks nice. I'm digging it. I am digging it. And I don't think I'm going to swap those servo screws out. They look fine to me. You know, for what the airplane is, I think they look fine. I'm certainly not going to be too picky about it. I'm sure some won't like it, but oh well. I mean, that is an awful lot of servo screws. I could really use those elsewhere. So, oh well. I'll probably order some button head screws in the same size, and yeah, I'll probably end up replacing them. But the other side isn't done yet, but I just wanted to, before I drag this video out any longer, I can't remember who it was. I apologize for who asked to see how I was going to put these windows in there. But this video's for you. I hope it makes it easier. I know I think you said you were building a Balsa USA quarter scale. I know the window situation's a little bit different, but the windscreen is pretty similar. It attaches almost identical to this. So, all right. Hopefully that kind of paved the way for somebody if they were going to be doing this. Even though you know, builders like myself are getting kind of scarce. But yeah. All right. Hopefully tomorrow we might be running the engine. We'll find out. Till next time. Later.